Before humans understood the secrets of this isolated island, before science revealed millions of years of unique evolution, there already existed a world where life took paths that were not repeated anywhere else on Earth. In the wilds of Madagascar, among ancient forests, thorny deserts, and hidden jungles, dwell extraordinary creatures that evolved in isolation for millions of years. Welcome to Wild Madagascar, mysterious creatures that exist nowhere else. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to keep creating quality content. Don't forget to comment below on what you thought of the video and tell us where you are watching from, so we can chat together. Let's begin. Among the thorny forests of southern Madagascar, where red dust rises with the wind and sunlight strikes with relentless force, the spirit of the island emerges. Beneath a scorching sky that raises the temperature to 35 degrees Celsius, a silhouette with black and white rings moves with royal confidence. The ring-tailed lemur is not just a primate. It is a born survivor designed to dominate the most arid terrains of this isolated paradise. Weighing barely 2 kilograms, this grey-furred strategist uses its 60-centimeter tail as a banner for communication and balance. Every morning, the troop gathers in a sacred ritual of sun worship, spreading their arms to capture the vital warmth of the dawn. In this world of scarce resources, survival depends not on individual strength, but on the unwavering cohesion of the troop. The group, led by a dominant female, patrols a territory that can extend for several kilometers over rocky terrain. Females are the absolute queens, dictating the rhythm of feeding and the order of travel in a strict matriarchal hierarchy. Communication is a mix of shrill cries and chemical signals emitted by scent glands located on their forearms. Conflict erupts when a rival troop attempts to cross the invisible borders marked by the dominant group's scent. Instead of a bloody physical battle, the males engage in a scent war known as a stink fight. They impregnate their ringtails with potent secretions and wave them toward the enemy, launching blasts of scent that function as warning walls. Tension rises at a distance of 5 meters, where every movement is a declaration of intent under the golden light. Just 3 seconds of dominant display are enough for the invading group to understand that the territory will not be surrendered easily. Faced with the superiority of the scent and the posture of the local group, the rivals retreat silently into the thick of the forest. Victory ensures access to the few available tamarind fruits, the fuel necessary to resist extreme drought. However, success requires constant vigilance, as predators like the fossa patrol the shadows waiting for a mistake. The ring-tailed lemur is the master of diplomacy and adaptation, a wisp of vibrant life in a land that does not forgive. Its existence teaches us that social intelligence is an arm as powerful as the sharpest fangs in the jungle. In the red heart of Madagascar, the unity of the troop is the only guarantee against the void of the desert and the threat of extinction. In the humid mist of the eastern forests, where the trees keep secrets of millions of years, a sound of prehistoric origin tears through the morning. The Indri is the titan of the heights, the largest lemur on the island, and the silent guardian of the ancient green cathedral. Weighing up to 9 kilograms and with black and white fur, its appearance is that of a forest spirit watching from the clouds. Unlike its cousins, it does not possess a long tail, relying on its powerful legs to jump 10 meters between moss-covered branches. Its true power resides in its voice, a melodic and melancholy song that can be heard more than 3 kilometers away through the thicket. These calls are not random. They are a complex language that defines the limits of the family territory and the bonds of fidelity. The Indri lives in small nuclear families, where unity is a vital law in the heart of the besieged biodiversity. Suddenly, a family of Indris begins its morning concert, filling the air with a vibration that makes the humid leaves tremble. In just 3 seconds, the echo responds from the other side of the valley, confirming that the jungle is still alive and the territory is occupied. The song of the Indri is the heartbeat of Madagascar, a sacred sound that reminds us that when the music stops, the forest dies. Among the dry forests of western Madagascar, where the thorns of the aluaudia trees challenge the blue sky, dwells an acrobat of white silk. The sifaka is not an ordinary primate. It is a dancer of the air and the ground who has turned physical limitation into an art form. With a dense and soft coat and golden eyes that shine with curiosity, this 4-kilogram lemur navigates a world of deadly thorns. Its body is a prodigy of elasticity, designed to jump distances of 10 meters between trunks that look like vegetable blades. But its true magic is revealed when it must descend to the ground, where its long legs prevent it from walking in a conventional way. Instead of walking on all fours, the sifaka begins a hypnotic lateral dance, jumping sideways with arms outstretched to maintain balance. This unique choreography allows it to cross open spaces at a speed of 15 kilometers per hour to avoid the attack of predators. The sifaka is a master strategist of movement who uses the inertia of its jumps to navigate the jungle labyrinth with millimeter precision. Every jump is a calculation of survival in an environment where the 30 degrees Celsius temperature demands absolute energy efficiency. The sifaka teaches us that when life places difficult obstacles in our way, the best response is to transform them into a dance of freedom. In the island's wild theatre, this lemur remains the soloist of a play where grace is the supreme law of survival. Beneath the mantle of Madagascar's eternal night, where shadows come to life and the wind whispers among the baobabs, the most enigmatic figure of the animal kingdom emerges. The ai is not just a nocturnal primate, it is a biological chimera that defies all laws of conventional appearance. With massive golden eyes that capture the smallest particle of light, this 2-kilogram being navigates absolute darkness like a ghost of dark silk. Its radar-like ears, capable of rotating independently, listen to the heartbeats hidden beneath the bark of ancient trees. In the sepulchral silence of the forest, its survival depends on a tool unique in the world: its extraordinarily long and thin middle finger. Like a percussionist of death, it taps the wood up to 8 times per second, using the echo to map the galleries of hidden larvae. It is a perfect biological sonar that allows it to see through solid wood without needing to use sight. Suddenly, its ears detect the subtle movement of a beetle larva 5 centimeters deep beneath the woody surface. With the precision of a surgeon, it inserts its bony finger into the hole, hooking the prey with a curved claw designed for capture. Only 3 seconds of tension pass before the larva is extracted from its refuge to become vital sustenance. The success of this invisible hunt gives it the energy needed to withstand the 90% humidity of the tropical jungle. The ghost of Madagascar will continue to patrol the branches, a legend of bone and skin that breathes in the eternity of the night. In the forests of Madagascar, where most animals evolved in isolation for millions of years, the fossa occupies the top of the terrestrial food chain. Its scientific name is Cryptoprocta ferox, a unique predator that has no exact equivalent anywhere else in the world. With a length that can exceed 1.5 meters, including the tail, it combines agility, speed, and strength in a single body. Its long tail provides balance as it moves among branches, tilted trunks, and the high forest canopy. Unlike many terrestrial predators, the fossa can pursue prey both on the ground and in the heights. Its flexible legs and sharp claws allow it to climb with extraordinary ease, even up vertical trunks. Among its most important prey are lemurs, the emblematic animals that inhabit the forests of Madagascar. As the island's primary predator, the fossa regulates lemur and other animal populations, maintaining Madagascar's delicate ecological balance. Among the shadows of the damp leaf litter in the jungle, where time seems to stand still under the mist, dwells an illusionist of nature. The satanic leaf-tailed gecko does not seek the power of brute force, but absolute mastery of visual deception to survive. With a 10-centimeter body, its skin mimics the texture of decay, with spots that look like mold and edges that simulate death. Its tail is an evolutionary masterpiece, flat and notched, making it indistinguishable from a dry leaf fallen from the forest canopy. It can remain motionless for hours at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, trusting its entire life to the perfection of its camouflage. In this vertical world, birds and lemurs patrol the thicket looking for any trace of movement that breaks the ground's harmony. A shadow looms over the gecko as a predator approaches within a few meters of its position, scanning the foliage with hungry eyes. The gecko flattens its body against the branch, eliminating its shadow and becoming a fragment of inert and invisible matter. Only 3 seconds of absolute stillness decide its fate before the hunter, deceived by the perfection of the disguise, continues on its way. This small being teaches us that the greatest defense is not the attack, but the ability to disappear in the very heart of danger. Among the humid branches of northern Madagascar, where light filters like crystals over the foliage, a living kaleidoscope challenges nature's palette. The panther chameleon is not just a reptile. It is a masterpiece of chromatic engineering that turns its skin into a canvas of emotions. With a length of 50 centimeters, this sovereign of the trees stands out for its vibrant patterns that oscillate between electric blue, fire red, and emerald green. Its most amazing feature is its 360-degree vision, thanks to eyes that move independently to watch every corner of the forest. While one eye tracks potential prey, the other watches the sky for birds of prey, creating a perfect visual map of its surroundings. Its feet, with toes fused into a pincer shape, allow it to anchor to the thinnest branches with absolute stability. Color change is not just for camouflage. It is a complex language of cells called chromatophores that express its temperature and mood. In this vertical world of 30 degrees Celsius, patience is its deadliest weapon, as it remains motionless like a static gem for hours. It detects a grasshopper at a distance of 1 meter, calculating the trajectory of its next attack with millimeter precision. Suddenly, its mouth opens and it launches its projectile tongue at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. In only 0.07 seconds, the elastic muscle reaches the prey with an impact force of several newtons. The tongue, with a powerful and adhesive tip, retracts the insect into the predator's jaws in the blink of an eye. The hunt ends with surgical precision, leaving only the trace of a shadow that changes tone again to blend with the light. The panther chameleon teaches us that real power does not always reside in the speed of flight, but in the perfection of the weight. In Madagascar's dance of colors, this reptile is the guardian of an invisible spectrum where life is defined by the light you project. Among the oldest trees of the eastern rainforest of Madagascar, where the mist clings to the branches like an eternal veil, dwells a slow-moving titan. Parsons' chameleon is the undisputed giant of its lineage, a being that seems to have been forgotten by time and rescued from the age of dinosaurs. With a length that can reach 68 centimeters and a weight of nearly 1 kilogram, its presence is a declaration of power and wisdom in the forest canopy. Unlike other reptiles, this colossus can live more than 20 years, becoming the silent witness to the eternal cycle of the tropical rainforest. Its head, adorned with bony crests and nasal protrusions, gives it the air of a mythical beast etched in emerald and turquoise scales. It inhabits an environment where 80% humidity and a constant temperature of 25 degrees Celsius allow its metabolism to function with absolute calm. It does not need speed. Its strength resides in the invisibility of its weight and in a tongue that functions like a hydraulic piston of pure power. It detects a small, distracted bird among the flowers, and its independent eyes calculate the depth of the abyss between hunter and prey. In just 1 second, the air whistles as its tongue launches like a projectile, catching the victim with a devastating impact force. The struggle ends before it is even heard, ensuring sustenance for this monarch who is in no hurry to see the centuries pass. Parsons' chameleon teaches us that in the heart of the jungle, greatness is measured by endurance and the ability to be one with time. It is the architect of patience, a living statue that will continue to reign in Madagascar as long as the mist continues to hide its ancestral secrets. Beneath the obsidian mantle of the nocturnal jungle, where moisture condenses on every leaf and silence is only a mask for danger, a sinuous shadow glides weightlessly. The Madagascar boa is a fortress of scales and muscle, a predator that doesn't need venom because it possesses the strength of absolute constriction. With a length that can reach 3 meters and a weight of 10 kilograms, this reptile is the sovereign of ambushes in the tropical gloom. Its heat-sensing pits function like thermal radar, allowing it to see the heat of life even in the deepest darkness of the forest canopy. A small lemur moves distractedly among the branches, unaware that it has entered the strike range of a flesh and blood spring hidden among the moss. Suddenly, the boa launches its head with electric speed, anchoring its curved teeth into the body of the prey with lethal precision. Its massive rings surround the victim in seconds, exerting a pressure of hundreds of newtons that stops the flow of life immediately. The struggle is brief and silent. Darkness reigns once more as the predator secures its nocturnal feast in the heights. A single successful hunt allows the boa to disappear into the thicket for weeks, while it slowly processes the energy obtained under the protection of the shadows. It teaches us that in the realm of shadows, patience is the deadliest tool, and invisible force is what finally dominates the destiny of the jungle. In the veil of the eternal night of Madagascar's forests, a sentinel with a fixed gaze emerges to guard the forest silence with a mystical authority. The Madagascar owl, known scientifically as Asio madagascariensis, is the absolute sovereign of the gloom and a master of secret existence in the green abyss. Its massive golden eyes are marvels of biological engineering, possessing a density of photoreceptor cells that multiply the faint starlight for superior night vision. It possesses a high-precision, asymmetric auditory system that functions like a 3-dimensional radar, allowing it to map every vibration of the air in total darkness. The design of its plumage is a masterpiece of mimicry, with patterns that imitate the bark of ancient trees to become an invisible shadow during its rest. As a keystone species of the nocturnal ecosystem, its presence is a barometer of biological health, ensuring that the dynamic balance of wildlife remains intact. This ancestral watcher remains as the guardian of the secrets of the night, the wise spirit that reigns in absolute peace under Madagascar's firmament. In the absolute isolation of Madagascar, where time seems to have followed a different path, dwells a creature that challenges biology textbooks. The tenrec is neither a hedgehog nor a shrew, but the result of millions of years of independent evolution in this natural laboratory of life. With a weight that varies from a few grams to nearly 2 kilograms, their morphological diversity is a testament to the power of adaptation on the island. Some species possess an armor of sharp spines that they rub together to create ultrasonic sounds, a form of communication unique in the animal world. It moves through the damp leaf litter at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, searching for small invertebrates with a sense of smell that tracks every millimeter of soil. Upon detecting a threat, the tenrec becomes a spherical fortress, launching its quills with a spring-like movement that stops the advance of any predator. It is the silent survivor of a forgotten past, a reminder that nature always finds a strange and perfect way to persist in chaos. Over the treetops, where the sun of Madagascar fragments into 1,000 flashes, an inhabitant of the air spreads its emerald and purple wings. The cuckoo roller is not just a bird. It is a living jewel, and the only member of an ancestral family that exists only in this corner of the world. The male shines with iridescent plumage that changes tone according to the light, while patrolling its territory at an altitude of 50 meters above the forest floor. During the breeding season, the air becomes its stage, performing acrobatic flights that include dizzying turns and spectacular dives. Its resonant cries announce its presence as it ascends hundreds of meters to launch itself again in a dance of pure freedom. Only 3 seconds of an aerial turn are enough to demonstrate its skill and secure the bond with its mate under the 30°C sun. The spirit of the cuckoo roller is a reminder that in Madagascar, even the sky has its own secrets etched in feathers of light. Over the lakes, mangroves, and wetlands of Madagascar, the Madagascar fish eagle flies like a rare shadow in an increasingly silent sky. Its scientific name is Haliaeetus vociferoides, one of the most endangered birds of prey in the world. Unlike other abundant hunters, its power is marked by the fragility of an extremely small population. It lives near lakes, quiet rivers, coastal bays, and swampy areas where fish sustain much of its diet. Its wide wings allow it to glide over the water for long minutes, observing every reflection and every movement below the surface. Its eyes detect fish near the surface, even when the wind breaks the lake's mirror-like surface. Its curved talons function like living hooks, prepared to grip slippery prey in a single movement. The eagle detects a fish moving near the surface and adjusts its wings over the open lake. It descends in silence from the air, calculating the distance while its legs prepare to touch the water. When the precise moment arrives, it extends its talons and snatches the fish from the surface with a swift maneuver. The hunt ends in seconds because precision over the water decides the survival of such a scarce bird. But its greatest enemy is not always in the sky or the water, but in habitat loss, human disturbance, and the reduction of fishing areas. Every breeding pair is valuable because the species' future depends on very few suitable territories for nesting. As a predator of fish, It helps maintain the natural dynamics of lakes and wetlands, although its current numbers no longer allow it to dominate as before. In Madagascar, the Madagascar fish eagle does not only represent aerial power, it represents a life on the edge of silence that still struggles to remain in the sky. Among the thorny bushes of southern Madagascar, where red dust covers the roots of the baobabs and the sun scorches the earth, dwells an ancient jewel. The radiated tortoise is not just a reptile. It is a chest of history with a shell adorned by yellow lines that radiate like golden stars. With a weight that can reach 16 kilograms, this living tank has perfected the art of endurance in an environment where water is a distant dream. It can live for more than 100 years, crossing the centuries with a slowness that challenges the urgency of the modern world under a temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. Its life passes in the calm of searching for cacti, but a shadow much more dangerous than drought stalks its existence: human greed. A poacher approaches stealthily to capture the beauty that nature took eons to sculpt with such perfection. The tortoise retracts its head into its bone fortress, seeking protection against a threat that its scales cannot stop. Only 3 seconds separate freedom from captivity, marking the fate of a species that today struggles against the silence of extinction. The price of being a living treasure is constant vigilance against those who value the pattern of its skin more than the pulse of its life. The radiated tortoise teaches us that beauty without protection is a painful fragility in the heart of a vanishing paradise. In the humid corners of the tropical jungle, where the earth exhales vapors of life and the ground is covered by a mantle of decomposing leaves, a crimson flash emerges. The tomato frog is not just an amphibian of vibrant colors. It is a living warning designed to stop the heart of any predator. With a robust body that can reach 10 centimeters, this small jewel uses its red coloration to announce an invisible danger. When it feels threatened, it inflates its body like a warning balloon and secretes a white, sticky substance through its skin. This toxic mucus acts like a biological glue that irritates the eyes and mouths of attackers, forcing them to release their prey immediately. Remaining motionless under a temperature of 27 degrees Celsius is its hunting strategy, waiting for small insects to cross its lethal radius of action. Only 3 seconds of contact are enough for the enemy to understand that in the jungle, the brightest beauty is often the most dangerous shield. Among the scorched plains of western Madagascar, where the red earth cracks under the sun, the pillars of a vegetable empire rise. The baobab, is not just a tree. It is the cathedral of life and the guardian of the island's millennial secrets. Known as the inverted trees, their branches look like roots trying to touch the sky in a gesture of eternal plea. With a height of up to 30 meters and a trunk 11 meters in diameter, this wooden fortress is a marvel of biological engineering. Its massive body functions as an organic cistern, capable of storing up to 120,000 liters of water to resist the most extreme droughts. In an environment where the temperature often exceeds 35 degrees Celsius, the baobab is the oasis that guarantees the survival of thousands of species. Its thick and fire-resistant bark is a shield that protects the tree's liquid heart against summer fires. Every crack in its trunk is a microhabitat, a refuge for geckos, insects, and scorpions fleeing the scorching heat of the ground. At dusk, the baobab unfolds its white flowers, a feast of nectar that attracts the forest's nocturnal inhabitants. Mouse lemurs, the smallest primates in the world weighing only 60 grams, run along its branches to lick the sweet sustenance. While feeding, these tiny messengers transport pollen on their faces, ensuring the reproduction of these immobile giants. In the heights, birds of prey, like the Madagascar kestrel, use the treetop as a perfect watchtower to guard their territory. The baobab is a vertical ecosystem where hierarchy is defined by height and the ability to resist 50 km/h winds. Sifaka lemurs use its smooth trunk to perform acrobatic jumps, turning the tree into the axis of their survival dance. The relationship between the tree and the lemur is a sacred pact that has allowed both to thrive for millions of years in isolation. However, the calm is broken when the hunger of a predator detects a movement among the giant's foliage. A fossa stalks from the base, climbing with an impact force of hundreds of newtons toward its unsuspecting prey. Suddenly, a sentinel lemur's alarm activates a burst of frenetic movements in the upper branches. The sifakas launch themselves into the void, using the elasticity of their legs to bounce off the solid wood and flee the attack. Only 3 seconds of desperate flight decide if the group manages to reach a neighboring tree or if one of them falls under the claws. Victory is the escape, and the baobab remains as the mute spectator of a tragedy that did not come to pass. In the harshest seasons, the tree sheds its leaves to conserve every last drop of moisture inside its massive body. This seasonal sacrifice ensures that the stored water is sufficient to feed the insects and birds that depend on it. Without the baobab, the web of life in western Madagascar would collapse under the weight of the desert and relentless heat. It is the architect of the landscape, a sculpture of life that defines the horizon and the indomitable spirit of the African island. Despite their greatness, Today, they face the threat of climate change that alters the rain cycles on which their recharge depends. The death of a millennial baobab is the loss of an entire universe of biodiversity that cannot be recovered for centuries. The baobab teaches us that true power resides in the ability to be a refuge for others in times of greatest scarcity. In the eternal dance between the red earth and the blue sky, this giant is the anchor that holds Madagascar's history together. As long as the last baobab remains standing, the island will keep its magical soul and the hope that life will always find a way. In the heart of the Indian Ocean, Madagascar rises as a granite fortress that was forged by geographical solitude for 88 million years. After separating from the supercontinent Gondwana and from India, the island became a laboratory of evolution where life took amazing directions. This 587,000 square kilometre biological raft has remained isolated from Africa, allowing species to follow their own destiny without external interference. The result is a biodiversity unique on the planet, where more than 90% of its flora and fauna does not exist in any other corner of the world. A backbone of mountains runs along the island from north to south, creating a climatic barrier that divides the territory into totally opposite worlds. Moisture-laden trade winds strike the eastern flank, discharging up to 4 meters of annual rain over dense and dark tropical jungles. In this green hell of humidity and heat, lemurs and chameleons have evolved to occupy every available niche among the giant branches. Toward the west, the mountains block the clouds, creating a rain shadow that transforms the landscape into dry forests and golden savannas. In this region, life must be a master of strategy to survive 6 months of absolute drought under a temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. The southern tip is the world of thorns, where the spiny forest houses unique plants that have replaced leaves with keratin daggers. Here, rain is a scarce miracle that sometimes does not arrive in an entire year, forcing animals to store water in their own bodies. Madagascar is known as the 8th continent due to its geology of iron oxides that dye the land a deep blood red. The absence of large African carnivores like lions or hyenas allowed smaller predators, like the fossa, to become the kings of the ecosystem. Lemurs are the purest example of adaptive radiation, with more than 100 species descending from a single ancestor that arrived on the island millions of years ago. Every valley and every mountain act as islands within the island, favoring the emergence of micro-species that only inhabit a few square meters. The extreme climate of cyclones and droughts has forged an iron will in every living being that breathes in this fragmented paradise. Radiated tortoises and ring-tailed lemurs are monuments to resilience, capable of living where the 40 degrees Celsius heat would kill other beings. Madagascar's flora is equally strange, with massive baobabs that look like roots nailed into the sky to capture moisture from the mist. It is a sanctuary of antiquity, where geckos and boas preserve lineages that disappeared from the rest of the world geological eras ago. Evolution here is not a speed race, but a dance of tactical precision to survive in an environment of limited resources. However, this extreme specialization comes with a high price: vulnerability to any drastic change in the balance of the environment. Species that took 60 million years to perfect themselves now face the threat of disappearance in just a few decades. Madagascar's climate is changing. Rivers that once flowed strongly are now sandbeds that burn under the sun. The fragmentation of the forest due to human hands breaks the biological corridors that have sustained life for eons. Every fallen tree is the loss of a millennial refuge for the insects and birds that are the engines of pollination. At this crossroads of history, Madagascar struggles not to become a cemetery of biological legends etched in the red earth. The island teaches us that isolation can create beauty, but also a fragility that demands absolute respect for life. The lemurs jumping between the thorns and the boas patrolling the night are the last ambassadors of a world that has no replica. Protecting this natural laboratory is ensuring that the Indri's song continues to resonate in the valleys of eternal mist. Madagascar will remain the mystical heart of evolution, a testimony to nature's indomitable strength to create wonders in solitude. The paradise of Madagascar finds itself today at a critical crossroads, where the majesty of its biodiversity struggles against the shadow of human expansion. More than 90% of the original forest cover has been devoured by indiscriminate logging, fracturing an ecosystem that took millions of years to perfect. Forest fires driven by slash-and-burn agriculture transform thousands of square kilometers of emerald jungle into sterile ash deserts every year. The trail of destruction is visible from space, revealing a red land that bleeds its nutrients into the Indian Ocean due to massive erosion. The sovereign of the night, the lemur, sees its biological corridors fragmented, becoming trapped in islands of vegetation that barely sustain its biological stamina. The fossa, the island's apex predator, is losing its hunting territory at an alarming rate, facing the abyss of definitive extinction. The loss of a single millennial tree in Madagascar means the disappearance of the refuge of hundreds of species of endemic insects and reptiles. Climate change alters rain cycles, raising the temperature above 30 degrees Celsius and exhausting the water resources of the dry forests. This living laboratory of evolution risks becoming a biological silence if the heartbeat of its untamable nature is not protected. Modern science and satellite monitoring are today the last real shield to safeguard the lineage of sovereigns that exist nowhere else. Massive reforestation efforts seek to restore the green architecture, planting millions of native trees to reconnect the sanctuaries of life. Fostering responsible coexistence between local communities and wildlife is the only way to ensure the stability of the ecosystem. Madagascar is an inestimable biological treasure, possessing a density of unique species that proportionately exceeds any other continent. Every centimetre of protected soil is a victory against oblivion and a commitment to the eternal posterity of global biodiversity. The fate of the giant baobabs is the mirror of our own world's fate, a reminder of our absolute interconnection with the earth. The majesty of the jungle must prevail over the mechanical force of machines, returning sovereignty to the warriors of the gloom. Safeguarding the Anganoka tortoise and the ring-tailed lemur is a mission of honor for humanity in the 21st century. Our responsibility is to preserve this masterpiece of evolution, so that future generations can witness the glory of the impossible. Madagascar's heartbeat continues to vibrate in the silence of its valleys, waiting for international will to guarantee its permanence under the sun. The protection of national parks is the final bastion against the chemical and biological degradation that threatens this crystal paradise. Madagascar is not just an island. It is the sanctuary of origin's secrets, the place where life took extraordinary paths. The disappearance of its unique fauna would mean the silence of one of the purest and most majestic voices of wild nature. We must act with surgical precision today to ensure that Madagascar's horizons continue to shine with the color of untamable life. The spirit of the island still lives in every leaf and in every amber gaze of its sovereigns, challenging time with an unbreakable will. Madagascar remains as the guardian of planetary biodiversity, the eternal kingdom of evolution that demands our respect and total protection forever. Subscribe to the channel and share this video to carry this message of respect far and wide. Every gesture helps protect nature's wonderful creation. Before humans understood the secrets of the largest jungle on the planet, before science revealed its hidden laws, a world already existed where every creature could become prey. In the wild heart of the Amazon, among dark rivers, suffocating humidity and infinite shadows, predators observe, stalk, and decide who lives and who disappears. Welcome to Wild Amazon, when survival is in the hands of predators. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to keep creating quality content. Don't forget to comment below what you thought of the video and tell us where you are watching from, so we can chat together. Let's begin. In the heart of the Amazon, where rivers meander through endless jungles, the jaguar rules as the supreme predator of this wild world. Its scientific name is Panthera onca, the largest feline in the Americas and one of the most powerful hunters on the planet. An adult male can exceed 100 kilograms, with a compact and muscular body designed for strength, stealth, and endurance. Its dark rosettes blend with the fragmented light of the tropical forest, turning it into an almost invisible shadow among the vegetation. Unlike other big cats, the jaguar masters both the jungle and the rivers, moving with ease between dry land and water. Its bite is one of the most powerful among all current felines, capable of piercing shells and skulls with extraordinary force. In the Amazon, few species can ignore the presence of this predator that influences a large part of the food chain. Capybaras, pecaris, caimans, turtles, and numerous mammals live under the constant pressure of a hunter that rarely wastes energy. Near an Amazonian lagoon, a group of capybaras feeds peacefully while the forest remains still. The jaguar detects movement from the dense vegetation and advances slowly, using shadows, roots, and bushes as cover. When the distance is perfect, it emerges from the darkness with a burst of strength and launches the attack before the prey reaches the water. The hunt ends quickly because the combination of surprise, power, and precision makes the jaguar one of the most efficient hunters in the jungle. Thanks to its role as an apex predator, it regulates populations of large herbivores and other animals that compete for resources within the ecosystem. Without the presence of the jaguar, the ecological balance of many Amazonian regions could be significantly altered. During the breeding season, males travel large territories following trails and signs left by females. Deep roars and scent marks serve to communicate presence and reduce unnecessary conflicts between adult individuals. Stronger males usually obtain better reproductive opportunities and pass their genes to the next generation. Even during this stage, the jaguar continues to perform its function as a natural regulator of the forest and riparian environments. Its influence reaches from the hidden paths of the jungle to the shores where caimans and capybaras seek food. In the Amazon, the jaguar is not just a big cat, it is the force that maintains the invisible order of one of the most complex ecosystems on Earth. In the murky waters of the Amazon, piranhas move like small dark flashes beneath the river's surface. Although their size does not seem imposing, their jaws and sharp teeth have given them a fearsome reputation throughout the world. Many species belong to the Cerassalmidae family and inhabit rivers, lagoons, flooded areas, and slow-moving channels of South America. Their triangular teeth fit together like tiny blades, capable of cutting flesh, scales, and animal remains with great efficiency. In the dark water, they do not always hunt large prey. Many times they perform an essential function by consuming dead or weakened animals. Therefore, piranhas act as river cleaners, removing organic remains before they contaminate the balance of the ecosystem. When they detect an injured fish in the murky water, the group orients itself toward the vibrations and begins to close the distance. They approach in rapid bursts, surrounding the weak signal and taking advantage of the confusion created by the mud and current. When the prey loses strength, several piranhas attack at once with short, precise, and repeated bites. The hunt ends through collective pressure because in the Amazon River, even small teeth can become decisive when acting together. Despite their fierce reputation, piranhas are also prey for river dolphins, caimans, aquatic birds, and larger fish. Their presence keeps the nutrient cycle active, helping to transform death and animal remains into energy for the entire river network. In the Amazon, the piranha is not just a symbol of fear. It is a small but powerful piece within the invisible order of the water. In the dark swamps and silent channels of the Amazon, a gigantic shadow remains hidden beneath the surface, waiting for the perfect moment to attack. It is the green anaconda, one of the largest and heaviest snakes existing on Earth. Its scientific name is Eunectes murinus, a predator specialized in the aquatic environments of South America. Some exceptional females can exceed 6 meters in length and reach weights greater than 100 kilograms. Its muscular body, covered in dark spots, easily blends with roots, submerged logs, and floating vegetation. Unlike many large predators, the anaconda does not depend on speed, but on patience and absolute stealth. It can remain motionless for hours underwater, leaving only its eyes and nostrils visible. On the muddy banks of the Amazon, capybaras often approach to drink and feed near the wetlands. The anaconda detects the movement of a capybara near the water and remains hidden among aquatic plants and motionless shadows. It waits patiently while the prey closes the distance, unsuspecting that danger is only a few meters away. When the exact moment arrives, the anaconda emerges with a sudden explosion and wraps the prey with its powerful coils. The hunt ends thanks to the enormous force of constriction, a strategy perfected over millions of years of evolution. In addition to capybaras, it can capture aquatic birds, young caimans, peccaries, and other animals that approach too close to the water. As an apex predator of the Amazonian wetlands, it helps regulate populations and maintains the natural balance of these ecosystems. In the swamps of the Amazon, the green anaconda does not need to chase its victims. It is enough to wait in the darkness until the river delivers an opportunity. Beneath the emerald canopy of the Amazon, where tea-colored rivers meander among ancient roots, a clamor of cries breaks the calm of the water. Then the giant otter emerges, known as the river wolf, a social predator that turns the current into its battlefield. With a length reaching 1.8 meters and a weight of 30 kilograms, this mammal is a whirlwind of energy and hydrodynamic muscles. Its strength does not reside in solitude, but in the unbreakable loyalty of a family that functions like an elite commando unit. They communicate through a complex repertoire of 22 distinct vocalizations, from high-pitched whistles to warning roars that resonate for kilometers. The day begins with cooperative hunting, where the group surrounds schools of large fish as if they were a living net of fangs. However, the peace of the territory is threatened when a 3-meter black caiman invades their favorite fishing area. Instead of fleeing, the giant otters activate their collective defense protocol, surrounding the reptile with coordinated aggression. The water boils as the river wolves launch rapid attacks, biting the intruder's tail and flanks to force it to retreat. Just 3 seconds of direct confrontation are enough for the caiman to understand that the numerical superiority and courage of the family are insurmountable. The reptile dives into the depths, leaving the territory under the absolute control of the long-whiskered sovereigns. Victory comes at an immense energy cost, but it guarantees the safety of the cubs waiting in the burrow along the shore. The giant otter teaches us that in the flooded jungle, the individual is fragile, but the united family is an unbeatable force of nature. Its existence is a reminder that communication and cooperation are the most powerful tools for dominating the chaos of the river. The echo of their cries will continue to mark the rhythm of the Amazon, the eternal ballad of warriors who never leave anyone behind. In the dark rivers of the Amazon, where sediment-laden waters hide almost everything that moves beneath the surface, the black caiman rules as an ancestral predator. Its scientific name is Melanosuchus niger, and it is the largest reptilian predator in the Amazon basin. The largest males can exceed 5 meters in length, becoming silent giants of the tropical wetlands. Its dark skin provides excellent camouflage in somber waters, especially during dawn and dusk. It often remains motionless for long periods, leaving only its eyes and nostrils visible above the surface. From that position, it can silently monitor fish, mammals, and birds that approach the banks to drink or feed. Aquatic birds are frequent visitors to sandbanks, submerged roots, and small beaches along the river. The caiman detects a bird feeding near the shore and remains hidden beneath the murky water without revealing its presence. It approaches slowly using the current and the natural cover of the river to reduce the distance without causing alarm. When the prey enters the appropriate range, it emerges with a sudden explosion and launches the attack from below. The hunt ends in seconds, because the element of surprise makes the black caiman one of the most effective hunters in the river. Its mere presence forces fish, birds, and mammals to remain alert every time they approach the dark waters of the Amazon. In the world hidden beneath the surface, the black caiman represents a silent threat that maintains the natural balance of fluvial ecosystems. In the stagnant arms of the Amazon, where mud blurs the horizon and warm 28 degrees Celsius water hides the vision, a living battery lurks in the shadows. The electric eel is not a common fish, but a predator capable of generating discharges of up to 860 volts with its specialized organs. With a cylindrical body 2 meters long, this creature is a ghost of muscle and electricity that breathes air to survive in shallow waters. In an environment where sight is useless, it uses low-voltage pulses as a biological radar to map obstacles and detect the presence of life. It moves like an electric shadow, waiting for the moment a prey crosses its sensory field to release a paralyzing discharge. The silence is broken when the eel detects a school of fish and discharges its power, churning the water with an invisible force of thousands of newtons. Just 3 seconds of pure electricity are enough to collapse the nervous system of any living being within its range. The current stops and the prey float inert, ready to be consumed by the absolute master of the silent storm. Even the largest predators, like the caiman, learn that touching this scaled body is an invitation to an instant and painful death. The electric eel teaches us that the most lethal weapon is not always the fang or the claw, but the invisible energy that flows from the heart of darkness. Under the dense canopy of the Amazon, where the river flows like liquid lead through the flooded forest, a colossal silhouette moves in the depths. The arapaima, also known as pirarucu, is a living relic of the prehistoric past, a titan that can reach 3 meters in length. With a weight of 200 kilograms, its body is covered with large mineralized scales that act as a shield against piranha bites. In these warm and stagnant waters, where oxygen is a scarce luxury, this giant has developed a unique survival secret. Every 15 minutes, the predator must break the surface to breathe air, using a modified swim bladder to conquer the suffocating depths. It remains motionless near floating vegetation, waiting for a school of small fish to approach its massive red-tinged shadow. The arapaima is a strategic ambush predator, feeling vibrations in the water long before the prey detects its presence. Suddenly, the giant opens its mouth, creating a powerful vacuum that sucks in the prey with a force of hundreds of newtons. Just 3 seconds are enough for the river surface to explode and return to absolute silence after the mortal impact. This colossus reminds us that true power lies in the ability to find breath where everyone else is suffocating. In the flooded plains, where water and land merge into a single element, the colossus of calm arises, the capybara. The Hydrochoerus hydrochaeris is the absolute sovereign of the wetlands and the largest rodent to walk the face of planet Earth. With a weight that can reach 60 kilograms, its physical structure is a compact mass designed for semi-aquatic life and thermal resistance. This peaceful giant lives in social bands of up to 20 individuals, where collective intelligence is the only law of survival against killers. Its eyes, ears, and nostrils are situated at the top of the skull, allowing it to monitor the environment while its body remains submerged. The moment of drinking water is a test of biological stamina, as the calm of the shore often hides a lethal electrical tension. Under the gloom of the vegetation, the stealth of the jaguar stalks every movement, seeking the precise instant for the definitive ambush. On the riverbed, the caiman patrols the shallow waters like an armored shadow, waiting for an individual to stray from the group's safety. On the shore, the capybara herd remains alert. Every raised ear and every restless gaze functions as a living collective surveillance system. Among the submerged roots, the green anaconda waits like an invisible biological trap, ready to wrap the rodent in an embrace of mechanical asphyxiation. At the slightest sign of danger, the leader emits a powerful alarm bark, a sonic signal that triggers the synchronized flight toward the liquid abyss. The capybara is an exceptional swimmer that can remain below the surface for 5 minutes, using apnea as its greatest tactical advantage. It possesses interdigital membranes on its feet that function as biological oars, allowing it to reach a speed of 5 kilometers per hour in the water. As a keystone species, the capybara is the heartbeat that sustains the food web, transforming plant biomass into energy for the sovereigns of the jungle. This inhabitant of the mud processes kilograms of aquatic plants daily, modeling the wetland landscape with selective and constant grazing. Its life is a perpetual dance between the peace of the meadow and the terror of the shore, a lesson in resilience in the heart of South America. The capybara remains as the guardian of the water mirrors, the gentle giant that defies fate with a vigilance that never rests. Each footprint in the mud is a testimony to the will to live in a kingdom where danger glides in silence under every wave. The survival of the herd ensures that the biological balance of the ecosystem remains intact against the ferocity of untamed nature. The sovereign of the swamps continues patrolling the waterpaths, ensuring that the vital pulse of the Amazon never stops vibrating under the sun. In the dense shadows of the Amazon, a collective force emerges that moves like a tide of noise and ferocity. The collared peccary. The peccary tajaku is a robust inhabitant of the understory, possessing sharp canines that function as biological daggers hidden under its snout. With a weight of up to 30 kilograms per individual, its true power resides in the massive band that can group more than 50 warriors. When they detect a threat, the peccaries emit a terrifying sound by clashing their teeth, a mechanical warning that resonates in the gloom. They possess powerful scent glands that secrete a musky chemical signature, marking their territory and coordinating the group with military precision. Unlike other herbivores, this army of hooves does not hesitate to counterattack, using its collective mass to ram its aggressors. The jaguar observes from the heights, aware that a frontal attack against an enraged band can result in serious and immediate injuries. As a critical link in the food web, the peccary provides the energy necessary to maintain the biological stamina of the jungle's sovereigns. In the midst of flight, they reach a speed of 35 kilometers per hour, breaking through the brush with a mechanical force that clears forest trails. The peccary remains as the guardian of the deep soils, the indomitable band that ensures the balance and biological health of the Amazon. Far above the floor of the Amazon, where the treetops form an endless green ocean, the harpy eagle rules the sky of the tropical forest. Its scientific name is Harpia harpygia, one of the most powerful birds of prey existing on the planet. Females can reach nearly 9 kilograms in weight, far exceeding the size of many other eagles in the world. Its broad wings are adapted for maneuvering among giant trees, dense branches, and confined spaces of the Amazonian canopy. But its most impressive weapon is its enormous talons, capable of gripping prey with extraordinary force. From a high branch, the harpy silently observes the movement of monkeys, sloths, and other arboreal mammals. Its exceptional sight allows it to detect small movements among leaves, vines, and shadows from a great distance. Monkeys represent valuable prey because they provide a great amount of energy within the tropical forest ecosystem. The harpy detects a monkey moving among the high branches and remains motionless while calculating the trajectory of the attack. It approaches using the cover of the canopy, hiding its silhouette among the leaves and shadows of the canopy. In the decisive instant, it descends with explosive speed and extends its talons toward the prey before it can escape. The hunt ends quickly because very few canopy animals can resist the power of an adult harpy. Sloths also form part of its diet, especially when they remain exposed while moving slowly among the trees. As an apex predator of the canopy, it regulates populations of arboreal mammals and helps maintain the ecological balance of the jungle. In the Amazon, the harpy eagle does not just rule the sky, it rules a world suspended between branches where few hunters dare to compete with it. In the highest canopy of the Amazon rainforest, where the treetops touch the clouds, an untiring acrobat emerges who dominates verticality with absolute grace. The spider monkey, belonging to the genus Atelus, is the sovereign of forest agility and a master of life 30 meters above the ground. Its physiognomy is a masterpiece of biological adaptation, possessing extremely long and thin limbs that give it its name and unmatched mobility. With a weight ranging between 7 and 9 kilograms, its physical structure is light and powerful, optimized for brachiation through the dense green labyrinth. Its most legendary feature is the prehensile tail, a muscular structure that functions as a fifth limb with amazing tactical precision. The underside of its tail lacks hair and possesses tactile pads similar to fingerprints, ensuring a perfect mechanical grip on the slipperiest branches. This biological spear is capable of supporting the total weight of the animal while it uses its hands to collect nutritious fruits under the tropical sun. The spider monkey moves at a surprising speed, performing dizzying leaps of up to 9 meters between the tops of giant trees. It lives in complex societies of up to 30 individuals, dividing into small foraging bands to optimize energy consumption in the deep jungle. Social communication is vital for its survival, using a repertoire of metallic screams and barks that resonate throughout the canopy. The moment of greatest tension occurs when the group's sentinel detects the massive shadow of the harpy eagle, the absolute sovereign of the Amazonian air. Known as Harpia harpigia, this aerial predator launches high-energy attacks, closing its 13-centimeter talons with lethal mechanical force. At the alarm signal, the spider monkey activates a lightning-fast response, throwing itself into the density of the vegetation to hide its thermal signature. It uses its tail as a dynamic rudder in mid-flight, making sharp turns to elude the eagle's impact trajectory in the chaos of the branches. This mortal dance between aerial stealth and primate agility is the barometer of natural selection at the edges of the sky. As a keystone species, the spider monkey performs the vital mission of being the forest's gardener, dispersing seeds of ancient trees over great distances. By consuming a great variety of fruits, it ensures that the jungle's biodiversity remains intact and in constant biological regeneration. Its biological health is the barometer of ecosystem integrity, indicating the vitality of the primary forests that still manage to breathe. The spider monkey remains as the guardian of the high shadows, the agile spirit that reigns in the gloom of the canopy with a will of steel. Each movement of its limbs is a testimony to evolutionary perfection, a reminder of the untamed majesty that inhabits the heart of the Amazon. In the dense green vault of the Amazon dwells the sovereign of parsimony, a master who has turned slowness into his ultimate weapon for survival. The three-toed sloth, known scientifically as Bradypus variegatus, is the supreme example of energy efficiency in the animal kingdom. Its physiognomy is designed for perpetual verticality, possessing 10-centimeter curved claws that function as impregnable biological anchors on the branches. It spends 90% of its existence suspended upside down, a position that allows it to monitor the jungle with a minimum expenditure of mechanical force. Its true superpower is absolute stealth, moving at a speed of barely 0.2 kilometers per hour to become invisible to predators. It possesses the slowest recorded metabolism among terrestrial mammals, processing a diet of tough leaves in a digestive cycle that can last 30 days. The sloth's fur is a vibrant ecosystem where microscopic algae grow, giving it a greenish tone for perfect mimicry with the canopy. This botanical symbiosis turns it into an undetectable ghost before the visual acuity of the harpy eagle and the lethal stealth of the jaguar. Its neck possesses additional vertebrae that allow it a head rotation of 270 degrees, giving it total vigilance without needing to move its body. Unlike fast hunters, this warrior of stillness survives through absolute harmony with the measured rhythm of the tropical rainforest. With a weight of barely 4 kilograms, its muscular structure is minimal to conserve every gram of biological stamina and body heat. Once a week, this inhabitant of the air descends to the ground on a high-risk mission to fulfill its biological needs in the gloom. On dry land, its vulnerability is maximum, but its infinite patience keeps it as an inert object that eludes the gaze of killers. As a keystone species, its presence indicates the health of the canopy, harboring on its body a biodiversity of insects that depend on its quiet existence. The sloth remains as the guardian of the green silence, the sovereign who reigns through peace and energy savings in the heart of the Amazon. Under the carpet of dead leaves where humidity saturates the air, an incandescent jewel emerges that defies the laws of discretion, the poison dart frog. Belonging to the Dendrobatidae family, this small sovereign is the most toxic vertebrate inhabiting the humid jungles of planet Earth. Its skin exhibits vibrant neon colors, a biological design known as aposematism that warns predators about its lethal chemical load. With a size that barely reaches 5 centimeters in length, this tiny titan possesses an arsenal that exceeds the physical power of any big cat. Its skin glands secrete batrachotoxin, a lightning-fast neurotoxin that blocks sodium channels and stops the nervous system instantly. The potency of its venom is so massive that a single individual possesses enough toxic energy to extinguish the life of 10 adult men. This biological weapon is refined through its diet, consuming specific ants and beetles that contain the chemical precursors of its liquid armor. In the microcosm of the forest floor, the dart frog moves with absolute confidence, knowing its trail is a death sentence. Unlike other amphibians, it is a diurnal inhabitant that does not need to hide in the gloom, reigning through the radiance of its forbidden colors. Minimum contact with its skin generates a chemical discharge that causes muscular paralysis and respiratory failure in less than 10 minutes. Compared to the jaguar, this creature does not require steel claws or jaws of thousands of newtons to subdue its biological opponents. It demonstrates amazing parental dedication, carrying its tadpoles on its back towards small water deposits in the high bromeliads. As a keystone species, its presence is the barometer of ecosystem health, indicating the biological purity of the Amazon lowlands. The venom of this frog has been used by ancestral cultures to create infallible arrowheads, transforming biology into hunting technology. The poison dart frog remains as the guardian of lethal colors, the chemical sovereign reigning in the humid silence of the eternal jungle. In the humid roots of the giant trees of the Amazon dwells a tiny warrior with the most feared weapon in the insect kingdom. The bullet ant, known scientifically as Paraponera clavata, is the absolute sovereign of pain in the micro-world of the tropical rainforest. With a length of barely 3 centimeters, its robust and dark body hides a biological ferocity that completely defies its small size. Its name comes from the intensity of its sting, a discharge of pure agony described as the physical sensation of being hit by a bullet. It injects a potent neurotoxin called ponerotoxin, which blocks cellular communication and keeps the nervous system in a state of total suffering. In the Schmidt Sting Pain Index, this creature occupies level 4, the maximum degree of biological suffering a human can experience. The force of this chemical impact can last up to 24 hours, a test of stamina for any organism that dares to invade its sacred territory. These warriors live in complex social colonies, patrolling the understory in bands to protect the sovereignty of their queen and their lineage. As a keystone species, they regulate populations of invertebrates and ensure that the cycle of organic matter in the Amazonian soil remains dynamic. The bullet ant remains as the guardian of the micro-trails, the iron titan reigning in the gloom with an indomitable will. In the gloom of the jungle floor, a prehistoric-looking silhouette emerges, patrolling the labyrinth of roots with absolute stealth. The giant ant-eater, known scientifically as Myrmecophaga tridactyla, is the undisputed sovereign of social insects in the Amazon. With a length reaching 2 meters and a weight of 50 kilograms, its physical structure is a marvel of evolutionary specialization. Its most formidable weapon is its 10-centimeter-long claws, biological tools capable of fracturing termite mounds as hard as concrete. It possesses an elongated and cylindrical snout that houses a 60-centimeter tongue coated with a sticky saliva designed for massive capture. This solitary predator uses its tongue with lightning speed, performing up to 160 movements per minute to extract protein from anthills. Despite its slow gait, this giant possesses surprising mechanical force, capable of facing the jaguar in a life-or-death duel. Its sense of smell is 40 times more powerful than that of humans, allowing it to locate chemical food trails across kilometers of jungle. As a keystone species, it regulates insect populations, maintaining the biological integrity of the soil and the dynamic balance of the terrestrial ecosystem. The giant anteater remains as the guardian of the leaf litter, the indomitable spirit reigning in the deep silence of the Amazon. When massive clouds discharge trillions of liters of water over the basin, the Amazon experiences an unprecedented biological metamorphosis. The river level rises up to 10 meters, overflowing its banks to reclaim the territory of the giant trees. The jungle is transformed into a submerged emerald ocean, a water labyrinth where the line between the land and the river completely disappears. In this flooded kingdom, fish navigate among ancient trunks, taking advantage of the abundance of fruits that fall directly into the liquid mirror. Species like the tambaqui process seeds in the submerged canopies, fulfilling their mission as biological dispersers in the heart of the flood. The Amazon pink dolphin patrols the forest corridors with surprising agility, hunting among the roots in a world without dry horizons. For terrestrial inhabitants, the advance of the water is a warning of scarcity, forcing them to disperse toward the granite highlands. Large herbivores see their paths blocked, turning every square centimeter of dry soil into a high-value strategic resource. The jaguar, the sovereign of stealth, must change its war tactics, becoming a permanent inhabitant of the verticality of the branches. From its wooden throne 20 meters high, the feline observes the liquid abyss, waiting for a prey to be trapped in the flood's net. The green anaconda finds in this setting its greatest biological advantage, gliding among the aquatic shadows with an unstoppable mechanical force. The pulse of the jungle slows down under the weight of the water, a necessary parsimony to conserve metabolic energy in the forest of mirrors. This flooding cycle is the engine that fertilizes the land with nutrient-rich sediments coming from the Andes mountain range. Without the Amazon's sweet tide, the dynamic balance of the ecosystem would collapse, silencing the green heartbeat of the world's lungs. Life in the flooded forest is a test of absolute stamina, where only the sovereigns of adaptation manage to persist under the eternal rain. Each drop of rain and each centimeter of the river's rise ensure that biodiversity regenerates in an eternal cycle of biological purification. The flooded Amazon remains as the most majestic and mysterious sanctuary on planet Earth, the place where the forest meets the fresh ocean. The majesty of this biological phenomenon is the ultimate testimony of nature's indomitable power to transform the landscape at its will. The cycle of life continues to vibrate beneath the surface, maintaining the balance of nutrients and the health of the global planetary system. The sovereign of the waters and the guardian of the roots ensure that the essence of the Amazon never stops beating under the sun and the storm. The paradise of the Amazon finds itself today at a critical crossroads, where the majesty of its biodiversity fights against the shadow of uncontrolled human progress. Massive deforestation fractures the ecosystem, reducing thousands of square kilometers of primary jungle to isolated and vulnerable fragments of vegetation. Forest fires driven by extreme aridity consume the green sanctuary, transforming the refuge of sovereigns into a desert of ashes. The illegal extraction of mineral resources pours toxic chemical substances into the river's arteries, poisoning the biological sustenance of thousands of species. Climate change alters rain cycles and raises the temperature above 40 degrees Celsius, challenging the stamina of even the most resilient inhabitants. Sovereigns like the jaguar see their life corridors fragmented, losing the territory necessary to maintain the dynamic balance of the food chain. The loss of a single biological link in this laboratory of evolution triggers a chain reaction that threatens the integrity of the entire planet Earth. As the world's green lungs, the Amazon processes trillions of liters of water and oxygen, guaranteeing global climate stability. The disappearance of the jungle would mean the silence of nature's purest heartbeat, a biological catastrophe of incalculable proportions. Modern science and satellite monitoring are today the last real shield to safeguard the lineage of the warriors of the gloom. Protecting every square kilometre of this kingdom is a mission of honour that requires international will coordinated with surgical precision. Fostering responsible coexistence is the only way to ensure that the cry of the howler monkey and the stealth of the jaguar continue to reign. Our responsibility is to preserve this masterpiece of evolution so that future generations inherit a world where wildlife vibrates with strength. The fate of the Amazon is the mirror of the fate of humanity, a reminder of our absolute interconnection with the pulse of the earth. The majesty of the jungle must prevail so that the green heart of the world never stops beating under the eternal sun of freedom. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next content. Don't forget to share your opinions through the comments section.